So that's just a couple of examples and the direction in which we go. I meant to mention we also do games. Splinter Cell, which is I think the most successful game in history, was released. The latest version was released last Friday, and again we're integrated in every level of that. Where it's not like a driving game where you zoom past billboards. When you're playing it, you have to interact with the technology. You have to interact with the phones and the telepresence to actually get the clues to move on and upwards through the game. So, again, a meaningful experience, and even in a virtual way, a hands-on experience. So that's a couple of examples of what we do. What about the learnings? What we'd like to share with you? First is you must be organised differently to succeed. It's not like running ads or anything like that. It's more integrations like sponsorships. And as Martin showed yesterday, I mean, God, I'd love to have that kind of World Cup involvement. What a job. And I imagine that they'll have to go out and watch the football and enjoy it like that. Rotten job, but someone's got to do it, eh? But you've got to manage integrations like sponsorships, and I'll come on to admit, getting the integration is just one thing. You then have to go on and activate and benefit from it. You must have some kind of resource yourself. It's not something that you can just offload to an agency to say, like, look after it. Agencies are absolutely vital. We work with a number of really good agencies. Obviously, Ogilvy Entertainment, David Brown in Los Angeles. We have kind of first place in the UK, who really are expert on these things. But you have to have resource yourself to actually help manage and execute on the placements, or the integrations, rather. Similarly, you have to work with media partners who get it. Bit of a no-brainer, that. And closer to home with tech companies, you've got to have your own technical staff, because it's not just a placement. You have to go in, set the things up. So even with the phones, you have to get a server, you have to configure it all, you have to power it up and whatnot so that they actually work, which is, at the end of the day, why they're there. And also, internal executive sponsors, an absolute must. If you've got the senior guys on board, then everything else kind of flows through much more easily. And a number of shows in the States over the years, we've had the CFO ringing our product integration team going, when are we next in whatever episode of that? And they're keen on it, and it really then helps in big companies demonstrate what marketing is bringing to the business and actually gets them some appreciation of what it is you're trying to do. Secondly, rights. It's no good just putting something up there. You've got to be able to use it. So try to negotiate the requisite rights for you to be able to go and then kind of use the footage, use the logos, the branding that comes from the programming in your marketing activities. So engage with it. And I mentioned this a bit earlier, integrate the essence of your brand and products into the content. And again, don't just slap it on like in the X Factor or something like that, because it's transparently, and it's bad, it's the wrong thing to do. It's not off the shelf, it's try and get something different, something special. And, go into something that's uncluttered or dominate it, and go for historic firsts. I mean, the New York Times was an example. It's a similar thing to what we did in the UK when the Times launched their Times Online TV in 2005. We were the launch partner for that. So we had Solus presence on the page and on the site with pre-roll and what have you, for the first time that kind of a media owner such as the Times, from the print heritage, really was starting to embrace video. Again, holistic integrations, I've covered that, and make sure that the content complements your brand. So it's got if you're got strong ethics, strong values, and whatever, then you make sure you don't get associated in programming that is in any way, shape, or form detrimental to that. And finally, I better change that, because Paul Bay, who those of you who are watching Twitter, is playing his conference bingo. So I managed to get the 360 out of that title slide. So Paul, if you're listening in, don't mark me off on that. But anyway, I mean, I think this room agrees that anything these days, and as always has been, the 360 is part and parcel of what you do anyway. You don't approach anything without that view. And then, basically use your media partners' kind of material to actually promote awareness of your brand. So you're using their property, the stuff that you've developed with them to promote you. You incorporate that in your marketing activities and materials. Make sure that also there's a quid pro quo with the media partner, that they're actually kind of promoting your integration or a partnership as well. So I think that was it. Yes, thank you very much indeed for, as I say, not having a siesta.